Right now, many people say some police officers are a source of racial injustice, but experts say racial injustice often starts in school. Call 6 Investigates found all black students in Indiana are more likely to be disciplined and arrested in Indiana schools than students of other races. Our Carrie Kenny has been investigating this for months. She shows us why the discipline disparity takes on a new importance given the recent attention on racism.
Black children in Indiana, especially black boys, are disciplined at higher rates than white students. And the discipline disparity starts as early as pre-kindergarten. Nicole Kenny's son William got a 10-day out-of-school suspension after he says he stood up to a bully.
So when I got suspended in 2 weeks, I was like, dang, I'm not going to be in school. I'm not going to be able to learn, teach, and I'm going to be missing out on a lot of work.
Indiana ranks 4th highest in the country when it comes to the rate of out-of-school suspensions for black teens in middle and high school. Nearly a quarter of all black middle and high school students in Indiana have been suspended at least once.
When we get in trouble, it's a bigger consequence.
Experts say this discipline disparity has lifelong impacts on black people in our state. The school to prison pipeline study shows Indiana students who get in trouble at school are more likely to get arrested and end up in prison. The Positive School Discipline Institute is working to stop that cycle.
We're trying to get to the relationship between the educator and the student to improve that relationship so that we can keep kids engaged in school and on the right track, and reduce suspensions. Because we know when kids are suspended, when they're put outside of the school community, they're at much greater risk of having contact with law enforcement.
Black students make up 12% of the state's student population, yet they make up 26% of arrests on school property.
It's more than implicit bias. It's unconscious racism.
The Positive School Discipline Institute trains school leaders, teachers, school police, and other staff about cultural differences, the role of trauma in children's behavior, and implicit bias, which are the unconscious views we have about certain groups of people.
How do we de-escalate situations? It doesn't happen without training. Because your automatic instinct is to say, I'm not going to tolerate that. That's not what's going to happen here on my watch.
And if they don't know how to de-escalate with a child, just like if you don't know how to de-escalate with an adult, you're going to have conflict.
But schools do not have to do implicit bias training. It's not required by law.
We think it should be required.
Call 6 Investigates checked with the Indiana Department of Education and learned the school discipline guide shared with schools now includes information about implicit bias and restorative practices. IDOE is also offering trainings through the Peace Learning Center at no cost to schools. The plan is to train dozens of school districts starting this fall. As people continue to march against racial injustice, experts say they're working to stop tense police interactions long before they happen.
We need all of these players to come together and actually change the policies and practices systemically in their school. That's a big ask, but I think that's the same thing we're asking for law enforcement to do.
Carrie Kenny, RTV6.